Good morning. My name is Abraham Hassan. Uh, I am trying to start a YouTube page. I'm trying to find some good content to talk about. I think the best thing to talk about is the condition of our people. And nothing more important than that in this day and time. We are living in a time that America is on the downswing. Everything that's happening in America is going down. But we got to realize that if America go down, the ones that living in us going to go down too. So I'm talking about African American people, especially. We are a special people in America because we've been kidnapped from Africa, brought over here, and made servants to our people. And they want to keep us their servant. They don't want us to be free from anything. They look at us as their kids. Why? Because we have been out in their foot for the last 500 or 600 years. And when you live in the people for that long, the people that run in this situation feel like you are beneath them because we've been ruling you for so long. It have became a part of their makeup, staying in power, telling us what to do. They look at us as little kids. They they fix everything around us, looking at us like we
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you. Could you please repeat what you said?
looking at us like we little kids and don't want to change. They don't want to change their behavior because their behavior benefits them. Our behavior benefits them. Their behavior benefits them. So we have to change the dynamic of this situation. We have to start looking at the way that we have to survive on our own. We need a way of looking at things because the way we're looking at things is bad for us as a people. We have to start looking at things for the benefit of us as a people, not as individuals. We're going to always have individuals that what I can say, they're always doing good. They made it that way. They make a lot of people look at those. Just a minority of people among our race have made it. So they say, look at it, he made it, you can make it. But the circumstances is not like that. The reality is not like that. The reality is they don't want to share this world with the majority of us. They'll let a few people in the door, but the majority of us, they want us to be their servants. So the only way we can solve this problem, we have to think our way out of this problem. The only way we can think our way out of this problem, we have to find some guidance that other societies have done before and try to not copy them, but learn from them. Get some information from them. Rearrange the information that benefit us. They put that information that they have in the past and try to rearrange the information that will work for us in this day and time. Because this day and time is critical for us as a people of our personal and group survival. America doing all that it can to keep us updated. We are people that's in a deep sleep. And they make everything around you to keep rocking you to sleep. Don't want you to wake up. Because once you wake up, that means they got another problem on their hand that they have to solve. And solving that problem means they have to share some of this material world with us, which they do not like to do. So for our society to get so rich, we look around, we want to be individualized, but the wealth that came to America by group effort, not as individual effort, by group effort. When they had these plantations, on these plantations was a group effort of making money for the leaders of that plantation. The same thing that they done back in the olden times when they was in Saudi Arabia and all other countries, that's Western countries, Eastern countries. They used to have group orientation, group survival. You can't survive as an individual in a society. There is no way you can accumulate enough wealth to survive. So when you go to certain parts of the world, you'll see, like Africa, you might see they have compound, but on this compound, this man have 4 and 5 wives, and these wives that he have about 5 or 6 kids a piece. This is wealth. This is wealth that they would go out in the world and bring the wealth back to that compound and make that compound wealthy. That's the same thing. That's the same concept that the Europeans did when they had these plantations. They had on this plantation, they had cornfields, and they had all the slaves work on these cornfields to make sure the corn that they sell will bring their wealth back to the plantation leaders. They had cotton fields. They're making sure all the money that the cotton bring from the outside world will come back to these cotton field masters that own that plantation of cotton. So they use group effort to make themselves rich. How can you have generational wealth unless you have a group effort in it? It's not an individual effort. It's a group effort. They say it takes a family to raise a child. That's a true concept. It takes a family to raise wealth. Wealth is not raised by individuals. Wealth are raised by collective groups. You have a company. In this company, you have a leader, a CEO. A CEO is over this company, but this company have people that's working up under him as a group and make sure that company survive, make sure that company grow wealth. So we have to look at this thing the same way they look at this thing. We got to stop looking at ourselves as individuals. We got to start looking at ourselves as a group model. Only way you're going to survive in this world, you got to look at yourself as a group model. We have to come together as a group and start surviving. You got people that come all over this world into our neighborhood and get wealthy. They get wealthy. They take their wealth back to their neighborhoods where all their people live in. They take all that wealth that's in our neighborhood and take it out of our neighborhood and make their neighborhood wealthy. You have the Chinese doing it. You have the Arabs doing it. You have the Polish doing it. You have the Vietnamese doing it. You have the Indians doing it. Everybody's doing it in our community except us. Why is that? Why is it that we don't produce anything for ourselves, that everybody produce for us? So why is that? It's a design plan by the great designer. What I mean by the great designer, I am not talking about God. I am talking about the great deceiver. They have deceived you to believe that this the only way you can survive is individualized. But they know for a fact you can't survive individual. You got to survive collectively. So what can we do about this? How can we solve our problems? We have to start thinking, and we have to start using our head, not individually. We have to start using our head collectively. You know, I live on a block. I moved in this block in 1993 neighborhood. And from 1993 to 2021 is 28 years. 28 years, and the people's on that block, I should know every individual on that block that's been there as long as I have. We should know each other. But you know, there's 4 or 5 houses down the block. I don't even know this man's name. He's been living down there 29 years. What is this? What kind of concept is this? What kind of community did you live on a block with somebody for 29 years and you don't even know this man's name and this man lived 6 or 7 houses from you? How did it get this way? It got this way by design. The same thing they did when they brought us from Africa. They separated us from our mothers. They separated us from our daughters and our sons and our grandparents. They put one grandparent on the other plantation, the mother on this plantation, the husband on that plantation, the kids on this plantation. So when they got through, they separated us. They kept doing this over and over and over and over until this became a genetic trait in our behavior. So only way we can get back this cohesion in our lives is we have to follow the guidance of God. God won't fail us, man will. So we have to believe in God. We have to trust in God. Because ain't no one else can get us out of this madness that we are in but God. Nobody. No man, no community can bring us out of this madness that we are existing in. And of this day, 2021, is God. God sent messengers and prophets to teach the human being how to stay on the right track and make progress on this right track. We got to find the path of these prophets that they have designed and walk that path to save our soul from damnation. Because once you walk on this planet and you think you are living on this earth as an individual and that's it, you ain't gonna survive. And the people that's running this planet know you ain't gonna survive. They did the same thing to Africa. They went over Africa, one continent. They broke those continents up into countries. They named these countries, they split the planet up and gave each European nation part of Africa and gave it their name. I am telling you, these people that rule in this world now is totally wicked. In their very core of thinking, it's a disease. And they nurse this disease. They flourish this disease. And they're not going to give up this disease. They love this disease because this disease benefits them and also destroy them as humans. Come on. What's going on in the world? Look at the world. Look at our condition in the world. Do you think we do this stuff? Do you think we'll, what is it? 47 million, 52 million people on this planet in America, on the planet in America. And we got 52 million people in America, and we don't own not even a toothpick factory as a race of people. Is something wrong with that picture? We are living in America, and every city in the United States, inner cities, look the same. All African American cities look the same. All African American people in the same condition in each city. How did it get this way? How can some city be 2,000 miles away and you ride in that city, it looks just like the city you just left 2,000 miles away? Unless this thing is done deliberately. Unless these things are designed deliberately. Somebody's sitting back and making sure that the inner cities don't make any progress. Somebody's using their intelligence against us. Because we don't use our mind, we use our emotion. They're always going to stay ahead. We have to start thinking about the way we do things. We have to start thinking about the way we behave. We have to look at ourselves internally and find out what is it about us that's causing us all these ills that we have. It's your thinking. It's your thinking ability. You think in a bubble that they have designed for you. And as long as you think in this bubble they have designed for you, you are not going to make any progress as a race of people. You know, America got one big problem they have to deal with, and they don't want to deal with. That is the ex-slave. Do you know the world need a new people to bring about a change in this world? Because they talking about a reset or a new world order. How can you have a new world order with the same old mindset that you have in the old world order? How can that new world order be unless you got some knowledge gonna come into play that's totally new, that brings about a change? I'm saying the knowledge that they have is not totally new. Only thing they're gonna bring into play is a new economic system. And the only thing gonna stay the same is a rational system. It's a rational behavior. the way they do things rationally and to people, it's not going to change. Only thing they want to change is the economic situation. They want to change the economic situation because the old economic situation is dying. So they want to usher in a new situation of economics. But the old mindset is going to stay the same. It's not going to change. They want to keep their foot on your neck, and it's not going to change. Matter of fact, it might get worse because the economic system is going to make sure it be worse. Because now they have money flowing in the streets, but it is the way the trend is going. There won't be any fallout money that's falling off the table of the rich into the streets. It's not going to be. They'll make it so that you won't be able to hustle on the streets or steal a car without them knowing it. Everywhere you going, you will be monitored. Everywhere you see, you are being looked at, watching. Why is this? Because they fear their own end. When you're living in a world, in a society that don't have no belief in God or the right concept of God, everything is a threat. Only way you won't have a threat is you have a constant belief in the right supreme being. If you have the right belief in God, you don't feel no threat. But deep down in the core of the people that don't have that right belief in God, everything is a threat. So they have to do everything in their power to make sure that threat don't threaten them way of life. So they got cameras everywhere. This is worldwide. Europe got it, America got it, China got it. They want to watch everything you do because they fear their rule is going to come to an end. My name is Abraham, and I like to speak more about this subject. Matter of fact, I like to get deeper into subjects. And I hope everything go good. And have a strong belief in God because He does exist. And He's in control of everything if you believe it or not. Thank you.